It's rare that a series changes or merges multiple genres, as it's difficult to execute. But when it goes well, it can result in something truly special, allowing for a unique perspective into that series. And there is one series which I'd like to talk about which pulled it off. And while the series is now in its twilight years, it was once a cultural phenomenon. I am, of course, talking about the space opera Halo. I know you're thinking, but this channel analyzes books. And yes, that is true, so keeping in line with my other content, this video will not discuss technical gameplay at all. Although I assure you the gameplay is excellent. Instead, we will be discussing the themes and setting which fundamentally shifted this series to a different genre, so anyone can follow this video. Also, if you're a fan of Firefly, there's something in here for you too. Halo, in all its incarnations, has always been a dramatic space opera, where our protagonists, the Master Chief, the Arbiter, and Cortana overcome impossible odds and universe-threatening enemies. If you have never played Halo, Return to Sender sums this up perfectly. After an alien alliance known as the Covenant assaults a human space station and arms a bomb on board, the Master Chief returns it to sender by daringly jumping out of the space station, detonating the bomb in an alien ship, and landing on a human frigate. Yet there is one entrance to this series which is better represented with a lonely protagonist searching for clues in a deserted city. I am, of course, talking about Halo 3 ODST, which I believe departs from the space opera genre and becomes a sci-fi noir with some cyberpunk elements. Crucially, however, we're going to analyze why this sudden change in theme works and how the execution results in a unique but familiar take on Halo. This is Sean, and before I begin, I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts down below. Our primary protagonist represents the largest departure from traditional Halo. We are not traversing this universe through the lens of a near indestructible super soldier whose every action is decisive in the war effort. Instead, we experience this entry from the perspective of a normal human, a human who is mortal, a human who carries a sense of fatalism with him. He individually has no control over the outcome of this war. Simply referred to as the Rookie, he is a silent protagonist, similar to those in the Neo-Noir movies by Melville and Refn. This adds a sense of obscurity and loneliness to his character, often present within film noir. At the onset of the narrative, the Rookie becomes separated from the rest of his team, setting him down a path where he is forced to investigate and locate his squad, while also uncovering the truth behind his mission and in the process revealing a corrupt police force. The Rookie's character arc is about proving his worth and his place within the team. While he does engage in battle, his value is not in overwhelming military force like our previous protagonists, but rather cunning, strategizing, and deductive reasoning. The remainder of the squad are our secondary protagonists. Dutch, Mickey, and Romeo all serve as integral parts of the team. Dutch is a close quarters combat specialist and plays the friendly giant role, while Mickey specializes in explosives and has the most technical skills, while Romeo is the team's marksman and is the most charismatic of the group. Buck is the traditional strong squad leader in control of the situation at all times. Some additional flair is brought to his character through the rare humorous quip. On a side note, Nathan Fillion plays the role of Buck, Adam Baldwin is Dutch, and Alan Tudyk is Mickey, all actors in the brilliant but gone too soon TV series Firefly. Finally, we have the blonde bombshell Veronica Dare. Representing a common trope within noir, she plays a dangerous love interest for one of our protagonists. Working for the Office of Naval Intelligence, her goals are initially veiled in obscurity, but as the narrative progresses, we learn the truth of the aliens the team is fighting and the AI which manages the city through her mission. At the onset of the narrative, we are introduced to the Rookie and his squad of orbital drop shock troopers. Their mission to destroy an alien carrier positioned above New Mombasa has been hijacked by the mysterious agent Dare. The mission encounters problems early on, leading to a failed drop. The Rookie, knocked out, wakes up a number of hours later. The team scattered and the city, now devoid of human life, is overrun with alien forces known as the Covenant. Utilizing the cover of darkness, he begins to track down his team by following a set of clues. While being subtly influenced by the city's AI known as the Superintendent to complete Agent Dare's unknown objectives. Upon finding a clue, the Rookie will deduce the events which surround that object and its current state. These events are conveyed in the narrative through a backward time jump and a switching of perspective to one of our secondary protagonists. This non-linear, fragmented narrative structure is common within noir. In ODST, it creates a feeling of hopelessness, as these events have already happened and the Rookie has no control over them. In effect, elements of fatalism are present. Another noir theme, and crucially a theme which did not feature in any previous Halo installment. This hopelessness and fatalism is highlighted by the very first clue. The Rookie finds the helmet of Veronica Dare, destroyed and clearly hit with some powerful force. The narrative then jumps back in time and we switch to the perspective of Buck directly after crash landing in New Mombasa. Buck immediately receives a distress call from Veronica Dare and makes his way to her position. Encountering stiff resistance along the way, he gets support from Marines, and the arrival of Romeo enables him to secure Dare's position. However, it transpires Dare is missing and an unknown life form is holding her helmet. This formula is followed throughout the narrative, and we will see the Rookie find clues relating to each secondary protagonist, resulting in a perspective switch to each one. We experience Dutch teaming up with Marines and racing through the city as it collapses. We later witness Mickey commanding a Scorpion tank and finding Dutch. As each flashback occurs, we see the gradual reunion of the team and the events they go through. It is when the Rookie stumbles across a broken sniper rifle that we get the darkest flashback through the eyes of Romeo. After going through a high-stakes sniper battle, Romeo gets trapped in a close quarters fight which results in a life-threatening injury. This shifts the narrative to a much darker tone, as the team is no longer just searching for Dare and the Rookie, they also have to handle Romeo's declining state. Simultaneously, the Rookie is beginning to face tougher and tougher resistance between each clue, building up a sense of tension even in moments of serenity. It is the Rookie who manages to locate Agent Dare before the rest of the team. Finding her deep beneath the city in a data center powering the Superintendent, it's here where the true mission is revealed. Dare's job is to extract the AI's information and relay it back to Oni. Except there's just one problem. An alien has stolen that information. But this alien is open to allying with the humans. This interaction resolves the mystery of the new alien lifeform. It is a species of hyper-intelligent but physically non-intimidating aliens who are treated like slaves. This leads to the final act, which sees the team successfully extract their new interstellar ally from the city. This escape, of course, being over the top and in classic Halo fashion. It would be a disservice to not mention the city and setting where the narrative unfolds. New Mombasa is a sprawling metropolis, technologically advanced and clearly a megacity. However, it is devoid of life, destroyed, and gives off an almost liminal feeling, as if the city's soul is missing and this is merely a place of transition. This is a somewhat common theme in Neo-Noir, with characters often existing in near-empty liminal spaces. The movie Drive is an amazing example. The almost empty late-night city streets in Drive can be seen in comparison to the empty roads of New Mombasa. Aesthetically, the city draws parallels to Night City from Gibson's novels, and more recently from Cyberpunk 2077. With large skyscrapers, neon lights, and AI-managed streets, it's easy to see that, to some degree, there is a cyberpunk influence in the city's design. Cyberpunk aesthetic and themes are a natural pairing with noir stories. Famously, Blade Runner is an amazing example of a cyberpunk movie with heavy noir influence. Through the city, we learn a lot about human society during the events of ODST. The most pertinent exposure we get into this society is through a secondary mystery told entirely from audio logs encountered by the Rookie. These audio logs will detail the events surrounding Sadie Ndesha and the assassination of her father, an engineer who worked on the superintendent. The corrupt police commissioner utilized the fog of war to kill Ndesha's father and attempted to paint himself as a war hero by taking credit for her father's work. This subplot on its own could warrant a larger discussion dedicated to it, and its effect is powerful. It's one of the few insights we get into human society outside of the military in Halo. It does not paint a pretty picture. We experience corruption and a degradation of values, which in some way plays into Cyberpunk's high-tech, low-life theme. Now, of course, this is not enough to brand ODST as Cyberpunk, but it is certainly enough to say ODST has elements of it. Throughout this video, I've been trying to highlight the thematic differences between ODST and Halo, but there is also a significant overlap. And this is important for a genre change to succeed. The identity of the series must be retained and built upon. Halo is a militaristic space opera, and ODST manages to retain Halo's identity by focusing on a military squad. Despite its noir themes, the main characters are soldiers, they fight aliens, and play a part in the larger war effort. Furthermore, we experience traditional Halo-like events through the backward time jumps, which break up the neo-noir narrative. ODST also expands upon the universe of Halo through providing insights into human society, as well as the fracturing alien alliance known as the Covenant. I'd like to just finish on an overlooked but crucial common theme shared by ODST and other installments, the theme of liminality and liminal spaces. Typically, Halo will feature abandoned Forerunner architecture that produces an eerie feeling, or a liminal feeling. In ODST, this same feeling is expressed through the city of New Mombasa. The city and the Forerunner architecture run in parallel with each other. The excellent execution of this eeriness in ODST is a testament to how well Joseph Staten and the team understood the themes which defined the Halo series. This is something that the current generation of video game writers could learn from. Respect the source material. A quote comes to mind from my favorite author, William Gibson. Clichés become clichés for a reason, that they usually hold at least a modicum of truth, and the following cliché is truer than most. You can't know where you're going if you don't know where you've been. This has been If Else. Please subscribe.